Hey family, it's Netta back at you with Black Lives Count, and I am here. We're going to have a discussion about that State of the Union address that President Trump gave on last evening, and maybe the possibilities or whatever of what everything may mean for us. So what I really want to do is talk about how let's discuss the talking points that the president had on last evening during his speech. So one of the first points that the president discussed was the strong economy and growth. So he kept going on about how strong the economy was. He described it as a roaring economy, claiming that inflation had fallen sharply below, a point of anything, for the citizens, for the Americans to worry about. He said that the stock market was very strong right now and was performing, very well for people. This president, I'm telling you. Anyway, he credited tax cuts. I just, at this point, I don't know what country he's living in. But anyway, he credited tax cuts and deregulation and tariffs with driving the economic turnaround from Biden's administration. So he said that there was a difference in since he became president in the economy versus as when Biden was president. The president also talked about health care and prescription costs. Now, we know right now people cannot afford their medications, okay? And that because of everything that's going on with the Obamacare and stuff, many people have lost their health insurance. So, but the way he said he promoted a great health care plan that he is initiating aimed at lowering health care. So both sides of this government are really ridiculous. So they removed the health care, the Obamacare, okay? They didn't want that. And so now he's coming up with some other health care, which is still Obamacare, because he's not created anything. We know this to be the case, that he's reformatting Obamacare as his care. I tell you, this person is such an idiot. But anyway, he talked about, like I said, the cost of health care and the reduced prescription costs, when there are people right now today that are unfortunately choosing between their heart medication or medication, groceries if they're going to eat, pay their rent, or maybe pay a utility bill or not. There are people out here that are really going through that, and that are absolutely not doing as well as the president is making it out to be. So, to continue, the president talked about the trade wars and the tariffs and trade. So he's responded to the Supreme Court ruling that struck down parts of his tariff policy. He called it very unfortunate, and saying that the tariffs would continue through other authorities, which he never really elaborated exactly on. He announced a new 10% global tariff with an eye toward making tariffs a larger part of U.S. revenue. So I guess they're going to just continue to put tariffs on everybody and every other country, so that America can ensure that they can, do whatever is necessary for, I don't know, the rich, because really, who's benefiting from all of this? We're not benefiting, okay? And who's benefiting? I don't understand. The American people are not benefiting from them putting tariffs on other countries. You know who's benefiting? More than likely, the rich are benefiting. We're not benefiting anything of these tariffs. So anyway, the next thing he talked about was immigration, okay, which was a big one, I guess. Immigration and border security. Trump claimed that the U.S. has the strongest and most secure borders in American history. He cited declines in illegal crossings and drug trafficking and proposed new laws like the Delilah Law, targeting licenses for undocumented immigrants. And while he's doing that, maybe if he started arresting some of these companies that hire these illegal migrants in large numbers and allow them to work in their facilities, maybe if they started arresting some of those people, they might be more inclined to not hire illegal migrants and instead hire, United States citizens. But at this point, they're going after the people that, or they're hiring the people that they can pay $3 or $4 to per hour, okay? Because they know that the American people don't want to go out there and work for $2 or $3 an hour. Well, they allow all of these, and it's both sides that does this. They allow all of these illegal migrants to come into the United States, and they allow these companies to hire them, just like in, I believe it was in Georgia, in, oh goodness, Valdosta. It may have been down there by, in Valdosta, I think. But that plant that they built, that Hyundai plant, and where they had all of those, Seoul, I think they were from Seoul or Korea or somewhere, illegal migrants working at that Hyundai plant. And the feds went down there and they end up sending planes to get their people, but they had rounded up over 400 people. You know what I'm saying? It just, to me, the immigration is maybe his strongest point, because that's one of the points that he ran on. He said he was going to deport, which he did, and which he is doing, and which I don't have a problem with. I really don't. So those were the things that the president, went over in the State of the Union address. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the strong economy part, I mean, I don't see where it's strong at. There's so many hundreds of thousands of people that have lost their their jobs, and you have people that are losing homes, and you have people that are in debt. They are sleeping in cars. So the economy being strong is not truthful. Him saying it's so is not making it so. So there's so many things. So then another thing I looked at was the difference. So the data from Trump's State of the Union address this year, it said about 64% of Americans who watched his State of the Union, 38% were very positive, 25% were somewhat positive, and 36% had a negative view of his State of the Union. And then when you look back at Biden's State of the Union in 2024, it said 35% reported having a positive response to Biden's State of the Union address. The thing is, and that's about the same as Trump's of this year. But the thing is these presidents, these governments are allowing, things that are continuing to keep the country in a deficit. And so, number one, by giving all these tax breaks to these large corporations and stuff like that, they're not thinking about the working class people. They're not thinking about the people that are trying to make it. They're thinking about lining the pockets of the rich. This is going to only continue to get more and more worse as we continue to go on. I'm not sure in November if the Democrats will win those seats because a lot of people are not comfortable with the Democrats anymore. They're really not. As well as not being comfortable with the Republicans. As far as I'm concerned, watching that State of the Union yesterday, it was really ridiculous. It is like we are watching two sides of rivals in high school go against one another because they these are people that we employ to go into those offices and to complete a job for this country, okay? To do a job that they are being paid to do, which is put in policies in place and keep the country running and do things economically to make the country flourish. And they're not doing any of that. They're not doing. And then to see them and the behaviors of them shouting while people are speaking, and people have to be put out. And this is not just on one side. This is on both sides. These are a bunch of unregulated teenagers. That's what they act like. This is what the leaders, the so-called leaders who are running the country, this is how they behave. They are running around, they are yelling and screaming out and misbehaving and calling names at one. It is ridiculous. And for citizens, for American citizens to have to see this play out year after year. This is not the only year. I recall when President Obama was in office, and I believe this was his second term, and he was doing a State of the Union address, and they were yelling out, calling him liars. The disrespect that these people have who are supposed to be in charge of us. These are the people telling us when we can and can't and cannot do and where our money and tax dollars is being spent on and what it's going to do. These are people that are controlling this country. And we sit back and watch this nonsense. It's nonsense. I can't fight for this country. I wouldn't. My ancestors, God rest their souls, fought for this country. They built this country. They fought for this country. They tried to make it right in this country. They tried to make it equal in this country. They tried to ensure everybody had a biscuit in this country. See, our ancestors, that's who they were. These people are their ancestors because they are greedy. You know what I'm saying? They are evil. They are wicked. Okay? They are condescending. They start wars. They start civil wars. People are being unalived. No policies worthwhile are being put in place. It's really not. They've created a free-for-all environment. I mean, the very situation with the illegal migration showed us. There have been so many people that have been unalived by illegal migrants. They're not telling it all. They talked about those three young, white women that were unalived by the three different groups of migrants. There's been so many black people unalived by illegal migrants. It's not funny. There's been several black women. One woman was going home from work like 1 in the morning on her way home from work in her car when 6 illegal migrants saw her and shot her and unalived her. You didn't hear about that. Some others unalived another black woman. There's been several incidents, but they're not talking about that. So yeah, the best thing that he is doing at this time, as far as I can see, is doing his due diligence with illegal migration. He is doing that one. He definitely is doing that one. And I don't have a problem with it at all. But all of this other unnecessary things, it's ridiculous. Now, I didn't have a problem a whole lot with the U.S. With the guards, National Guards in the cities. If they were trying to stop or deter crime, I don't have a problem with that because I don't like crime either. Okay, I don't know many that do, but when it comes to taking down artifacts, from the civil rights movement and all of that, yeah, he doing a lot. He doing too much, So I just say that we have a couple of more years of Mr. Donald Trump, and hell, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? He's trying to do something to get another term. So who knows? He may get another term. We really just don't know. It's not supposed to happen legally, but a whole lot of things are going on right now, and a lot of stuff is not legal, and it's happening, and nobody's stopping it. So what are you gonna do? I just say foundational Black Americans have to continue. And we have to continue seeking economic individualism. We have to separate and continue to separate. We have to continue to invest in ourselves and our community, start businesses. We have to continue to stack money, buy silver, buy gold, get yourself together, because this economy is going down. I don't know when, I don't know where, but I know it's not that far off. It is going down. And if we're not prepared to catapult ourselves to the next level as a black community, then we're going to be in trouble. We're going to have to pull together, start growing. I see people are buying land, and other foundational Black Americans are getting with them. The only thing with that is that kind of strikes me, but I think it's the right thing to do still. I think it's still the right thing to do. We're still going to have to be careful. We're going to have to practice Second Amendment rights and things like that, because there's history in this land where black people have land and trying to make it and just live and be happy and be successful, and here comes those people over into that town harassing them. If you don't believe me, it's happening still right now today. There's a young lady on YouTube. Her name is, the name of her channel is Tiffany's Farm. Her and her dad bought some land in Georgia, and they're farming. And they got a nice amount of land. I want to say they got like maybe 20 acres or so. It may be a little more than that. And I'm telling you, these white people will not get off their land. These white people come on their land every day. They started even collecting dogs and letting them loose, wild dogs, letting them loose on their land. They were burning parts of their land. In fact, recently I just think she did a video where somebody said like this is like the 5th or the 6th fire on their land, just harassing them. All they're doing is trying to have some land, have grow their food, live and be happy. Her and her dad, he just found out he got prostate cancer. Just harassing these people to no avail. And they've got with the sheriff and all kind of stuff. And nobody's helping them. So even to this day in 2026, they hate to see black people that are successful, that have went out there and did exactly what they said and pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and got their land and doing shit productive. They don't want that. They don't want that. See, they tell you to do it, but then when you do it, they harass you. They stalk you. They are stalking them. Somebody even put a, when people go hunting, how those hunters put those, not the shack, but the little shelves up in the tree where they can stand up in the tree and peep down on people. Somebody even built one of them on their land. Probably in hopes to be hiding up in there as they walking by and take them out. You know what I'm saying? And thank Yah, she found it, saw it, happened to see it, or her dad happened to find it. And so they had to get up there and tear it down. I think it was like 2 of them. Her channel name is Tiffany's Farm. But yeah, you go over there and support her, her and her dad. But yeah, she, even to this day, they don't want to see you successful. They tell you to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and stop being this and stop relying on the government and looking for handouts, because when you ask for reparations, that's a handout. Okay? It's not a handout, it's a debt. It's a debt that America owes. So, the State of the Union address that the president gave was typical of a presidential State of the Union, with the exception of our president, who has a hard time articulating himself. But the only thing I say is that there's so much going on. There's so much going on, family, and we just have to be. We have to pay attention. There's nothing we can do about this system. It's a beast system, and it's in place, and it's going to be in place until the Most High Yah removes it. But what we do need to do is we need to focus. We need to keep doing what we're doing. We need to drink our water. We need to take our walks. We need to ensure that we are putting things in place so that when this system falls, we can be able to walk away. We can walk away. So I thank you so much, family, for joining me this evening in the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you will leave a comment and let me know what are your thoughts on his State of the Union address. Did you think it was an okay one, or did you agree with they said, I think it was like 35% were very positive and 25% was semi-positive. I'm be honest with y'all, I'm just here. I'm just here because I don't know. I just don't know. But I thank you again, family. Peace, love, and blessings to you all. Black power. And just take care of yourselves, family. Take care of yourselves and love yourselves and your family. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.